What's up, my loves? It's your girl Diamond, and I'm back with an all new episode. No, I'm back with the premiere of the all new season of Love and Hip Hop Miami. I am so happy this season came back with a new one. I'm so happy.
Wait.
So we get to Trina. She is open up. Excuse me, the scene with the celebration of her 21st anniversary of the baddest bitch. She's on a yacht. She's with Bobby Light. She's with Joy. She's with her brother. She's with her man Raymond, and she is just happy to be alive. She's living life, and she just cannot wait for this for the year 2021, because obviously the last 2 years have been very difficult. Her mother passing, and also for the pandemic. Well, she couldn't work, she couldn't do anything. So now that it's free and open, she is taking the world by storm, getting it done, and everything is gonna be okay. So of course, since they're celebrating the 21st anniversary of the Bass Bitch, they're having it in Atlanta. I think because since they just came from a pandemic, the laws or
Here.
the free range
Ring.
of COVID laws in Florida are a little bit fresh, a little bit new. So they're going
Go
back.
ahead.
They're going to Atlanta because Atlanta it's freely open. It's been freely open this entire time. So that's where it's at. So then we get to Nore. He's a rapper extraordinaire. He's from LaFranc City, Queens. He's been a rapper since 1997. I do believe I know his songs. I just can't remember what it was. I just can't remember. So he's part of the legendary group Capone Noriega. And he was the first person to introduce reggaeton and rap music. I believe that. And he was also he's also a rapper made podcast cool. I'm like, you were? Okay. I'm gonna give it that. So we get to a scene where he's doing drink champs with Swiss Beats and Timberland. So they're pretty much, just what's the word? Pre-gaming for the verses. And it's pretty much just give respect to the OGs in the game. You know what I'm saying? They've been in the game for 10 years. They paved the way for all the new artists. So we gotta give them their flowers. And I'm understanding that. I agree. There are a lot of new artists that does not give respect to the ones before them. They don't do that. They just feel like they came with a new sound. You kind of didn't, but okay. So then we introduced to Nori's wife, and I'm sorry, I'm rambling. I went to another scene, but we also saw the trailer for the new season of Marriage Bootcamp Reality Stars, and him and his wife are on the new season. So I'm interested in that. So Nori, they've been together for 15 years. They have 3 children, and she pretty much does everything for him. She's a chauffeur, assistant, everything. And she came and picked him up. So he is pretty much drunk as hell. Because he was drinking at like 10 o'clock in the morning, drinking Ciroc, drinking Hennessy, and he was drunk. So, but now she's about to be late to a meeting with a designer because she's about to start a business, and he needs to take her. She needs to take a couple steps back to make sure he's good. And I feel like this is my time to step out from being your assistant. You're gonna have to do better. You're gonna have to be a more of a. You're gonna have to step up your fatherly duties right now when I'm trying to be, present for this business. And of course, he's not feeling that because he admitted he's old school. He doesn't want his wife to work. He wants her to be home cooking and cleaning. And that should be it. That should be sufficient for her. But no. At some point, you know what I'm saying, I want to have something else interesting to talk about too. When you be coming home talking about your drink champs, you said you might have talked to Drake, you might have talked to Kanye. You have interesting things to talk about. I want to have something to talk about too besides what you want for dinner and the boys are all dressed up for bed. I don't want to do that all the time. So, and then obviously he is pretty much taking advantage of the fact that he gets to drink it early in the morning when he comes to giving toast to the champs who's been here for a long time. So, but obviously, I feel like that's not really safe, and he does not drive. She picks him up and takes him. So then we see Suki. Suki, your confessional was everything. I do not like that tiger tattoo on your face. I realize it's a matching set tattoo tiger with your fiance Kill Bill. Why did you do that to your face? You was already beautiful, and you got that tiger on your face. Why'd you do that? So obviously, Sukiana's life has been going great. You know what I'm saying? She has made money on OnlyFans. She's making her music. And it pretty much stems from her being on the WAP video with Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. And I'm like, yes, Suki, get your, come on now. So everything's going good for her. Out of all the things happening in her life besides her kids, is she found the love of her life, Kill Bill. Is this the man that came out of prison that we saw on Instagram where she practically like fucked him on the way to the door?
What do we?
Is that what that was? Because she said, I'm so happy I found a man who has the same type of ratchetness as I do. And we're seeing all of their TikTok videos with her foot all up on his neck. I'm like, man, y'all must have some crazy wild sex. So she calls her kids to let them know that they love them and they can't wait to come home. You know, he loves them too. And she said, I'll see you guys later. Tell Kill Bill I love him. Like, oh, that's so sweet that her kids like him as well. And he said, you know why I proposed to you? She said, why? Because of how you treat your kids, how you treat mine. I love it, and that's why I want another baby. She said, I want another baby too. I said, pump the brakes. No. No. Listen, I'm all about being fruitful, but I stopped that too. Because me and my husband agreed, we stopped that too.
Mom.
Yes.
Mom.
Yes.
She's hungry.
She's hungry. See, I don't know why I'm doing this now. But basically, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have your 3, Suki, and I don't know how many he has. He probably has 3 too, or 2. But it's a very touchy, sensitive subject. I am not saying you and your husband cannot have a kid, but your career is thriving right now. And you want to have another baby? How you gonna have the time to still be, you know, Sukiyana? How you gonna have time for it? If you want to be, you know, having a baby. Then they go about the name of the baby. He said Tornado. I'm like, listen, y'all gonna go to what it was on The Voice, where the guy's name was Thunderstorm. You can get out of my face, even though he was a great singer. Maybe Thunderstorm worked for him. No, then he said Sharnado. No, Sharnita. Hell no. She said no, Sharknado. I'm like, not that shit. Good night and goodbye with these names.
Mr. Burn.
And then welcome in 2, 3. Nope. Nope. So then we get to Ace Hood. Hey, Ace Hood. Oh my God, I had a crush on Ace Hood when he first came out. I kind of still do because I love Ace Hood. I love his music. I love him. My goodness, he's a gorgeous chocolate man. So father, husband, platinum artist. So he's in the booth and he's pretty much putting a new spin on his music. He's talking about the opening the minds of black men on a new journey. And he opens up on how he started. He started loving music in the 11th grade, and he made a 3 CD mixtape and gave it to DJ Khaled, and the rest was history.
Mr. Burn.
In 2018, it flashed back to an interview he did with the Breakfast Club. So what happened between him and the relationship with DJ Khaled? He said relationships come and go. I feel like at that point I was ready to move on. I was ready to make my own music, and it is what it is. I'm grateful for what I did. I'm grateful for the opportunity that he was given to me, and I wouldn't change it for the world. And I'm not mad at that. I'm really not mad that he did that. Because he wants to be, you know, he wants to make the music he wanted to do without having restrictions to do it. So he became an independent artist, and it's been working for him. It really has. So then we get to Trick Daddy Dallas. He's opening up the Trick and Trina morning show, and then he's talking about how when he was opening Sundays, he was afraid the pandemic would shut him down, but the business is thriving. I just cannot wait for him to get that hit from when he said Beyonce can't sing. I just can't wait. But then, you know, he is at the Trick and Trina morning show, which is the #1 show in Miami right now. So happy for y'all. But Trina's a no-show, and nobody else heard from her, and he blames her management. They can't communicate well at all, and that's crazy. So we're back to Trina. So they arrived in Atlanta for the event, and apparently she has a lot of appearances and a lot of things scheduled, but there has been some miscommunication of whether or not she's performing or not. Apparently, one of her management did not realize he was supposed to be in charge of making sure that the performance was good, because the other manager is making sure that the event is good. 2 different things. And even though she ended her management with Julian, she has said her team stepped up, but they need to step a little further. You got that right. They are dropping the ball on everything. Because obviously, you know, this is the big deal. 21st anniversary. Blah. 21st anniversary of the baddest bitch. Come on now. Bump that shit every time. It flashes back to an old interview she did on the BET show with John Sally. And they was asked, how did you get on the album? She said, well, Trick asked me to. We grew up together. He asked me to get on it, and I did. And now I'm working on my solo project. And the rest was history. I'm like, look at Trina. She still look good. And her confessional look gorgeous. So this isn't some simple event. You know, I've been in this industry for 2 decades. I have paid my dues. I put blood, sweat, and tears into this. The respect that I have gained in this industry, it ain't no joke. So then they checked in. She's talking to KD about what's going on. So apparently for her performance, she's not performing. And evidently the space that they rented or the whole outlook of what they wanted to do went over budget. So now she only has about a 2-minute intro into the party. Oh my God, fucking sense. I want to see her perform. So the miscommunication for staging, all that stuff. So then Joy does not want Trina to get stressed out for this, because this is supposed to be a celebration for you, but can't help it. You know what I'm saying? So then after that, calls Trick, because where's Trick at? And Her management team looking lost like chicken with their heads cut off. What's going on? Who invited Trick? I just assumed he knew. Why would you just assume he knew? You need to communicate. Call him. He said I wasn't invited. How can you not invite Mr. Nan? I cannot hear Nan without seeing Trick and Trina.
No.
Obviously, so they working on getting Trick a flight. And obviously she got to deal with his ego about how he didn't get invited. It's going to be on her to make sure that he good. So Joy is pretty much, glistening, glowing about Raymond and Trina. When y'all going to get married? When y'all going to have a baby? She said, listen, I have crazy baby fever. And if I was to have a kid, it has to be within this year, next year. If not, then that ship is sailed. And she feels like, I make a lot of excuses all the time, but my biggest one is my mom is not here. It sucks that I'm going to bring a kid in this world and his grandma won't be here. Because we all came from a family where we got grandma. Grandma is that one that puts us all together, brings us close. And I'm like, I feel you, Trina. And I always wonder when will Trina have a baby? I think she'll make a great mother. But I could definitely understand her reason. You know what I'm saying? It does suck. I get it. I really do. So, yeah, that was I got it. I'm glad you said it. I always wondered. So we're back to Ace Hood. He's in the house recording a new song. And he's very excited about representing a higher version for himself. And right after he became independent, he met his wife, Sheila Marie. And it was a chance for him to open his eyes and try new things. So we introduced his wife, Sheila, who is a very gorgeous girl. She is a founder of Curly, Curvy, and Conscious, which provides space for healing of black women. They do yoga, they do healing, meditation, all about finding your inner peace. And I feel like I need to do that. So he also thanks his wife for being encouraging for him to branch himself from being a major label, to be independent, to make music for himself. And he looked differently. And when it was coming down to him being independent, his wife voiced a lot of her opinions, and the men didn't like that because they would say, "Why is she speaking?" Obviously, his management team and everybody else was pretty much trying to tell him, "No, you need to stay where you at and make the music." But she would voice and say, "If he don't want to do it, he don't have to. If he sees himself more than just doing this, he should go forward. Listen, babe, if you want to go ahead and go solo, if you want to go ahead and go independent, I'm right here with you." Because I did not know it was wrong to have an opinion. He said men in the rap industry, they feel threatened if an opinionated person or woman, expresses their opinions. And it will make them feel like you are putting down what they're doing. Oh, damn, my opinion is that strong, it makes you doubt what you're doing? Okay. But damn, because there have been times where she would be at the studio and voicing her opinions, they would say, why is you here? Why is you here? Who are you talking to? And you don't matter here. Just be quiet. I'm like, men are such assholes. I ain't got time for that. If I have something to say, I'm going to have something to say. Fuck you, what you thinking. Fuck you. Good night. Like, just challenging insecurities in a person. Absolutely right. You were challenging. So then he's talking about going back to his hometown, Deerfield. Also to see everybody and see his mom. She said she would like that. Even though they've been disconnected for a while, but he wants to have a conversation with her. He wants to still, see her. That's his mom. And he has reservations as to how he grew up. But in that, he wants to see his mom because that's mom. That's mommy. You gotta see your mom. So we're back to Nori, N-O-R-E. He is at his favorite cigar lounge with his friends, and he's just expressing that he is stressed out because Neri is trying to open up this juice bar, but they are months behind in construction. And his friend is like, so I'm wondering how things are going to go now that she got this juice bar. Who going to help with the kids? Who going to help with the groceries? Who going to help with the cooking? You know what I'm saying? And he said, I've definitely gotten used to Nori doing everything. Cooking, cleaning, taking care of the kids. She's like, listen, it's already enough making sure that I'm there driving you. But now I got to be attentive to you. I got to be there for the kids 24/7. So what's going to happen if I'm at the juice bar and the kids have a game? Are you going to be able to take them to their games? You going to be able to, all four of them? So, then, he's like, he definitely doesn't want to get used to the fact that he's going to have to be Mr. Mom or Mr. Dad. But he felt like that's not what I wanted to do. I did not know. Wife. Barefoot and pregnant, take care of the kids, and I'm supposed to be out making the money and not worrying about this. I don't do this. But he said I'm supposed to be chilling. But that ain't gonna fly. That's not gonna work. That's not gonna last long. So his friends are going on about you have to start cooking, but you don't buy groceries. And how you going? The kids need to be driven at some point. You don't drive. You get driven. So apparently, when he was going to DMV to get his license, Obviously, he was at the point where he was practically famous. People were taking pictures of him. He got uncomfortable. He left the DV and never came since. Listen, I used to think getting a license was the best thing in the world, but it is a privilege, not a right. And there are some crazy ass drivers out here that shouldn't be driving. But Ari, you should get your license. You know what I'm saying? You know how to drive. You don't have a license. I don't think you are afraid of the DMV. Something that's had to happen besides you getting uncomfortable at the DMV. You couldn't go back. But I get it. I really do. So his friends telling him, you know what I'm saying? You know, Neri has been there for you for 15 years. She supported you. She has guided you. She has been there for you. Let her have this shine. Let her have this moment. You know what I'm saying? Let her find something else for herself besides her being the wife and daughter and mother for you. And, you know, we have to rally behind her. We have to support her. And he said, you know, he's just comfortable how things are. But he realized in the last years, she's been a shadow. And if things keep going the way they're going, she's going to be unhappy. He going to be unhappy. And that's not going to be good. You want a happy life, happy wife. So we're back to Ace. He's down in his hometown. And he brought his friend Slim along. He see all his old grounds. He saw where he got his first fight. He saw where they made up. Had a good time running the bike through here. I'm like, I want to do that. I want to go back to my old home. Home me and my cousin grew up in. I want to go back. So, of course, you know, he talks about the memories. By the time he was 18 and already like signed and everything, he went to South Beach, and then he felt like from South Beach, from Deerfield, it was like a different world. I'm just a small kid. I'm just a country kid I'm a kid from a small town, and I'm like in another area. I'm like, this is Vegas. What's going on here? So then we meet his mom, Blondie, and he said she was the inspiration of the hustle in him because his mom was working 3-4 jobs, so she never missed a beat on nothing with her and her 5 kids, and she's a very huge protector. And when you come for her kids, she would cuss you out and say, have a nice day. I'm like, I know that's right. So pretty much after the whole niceness happened, she gets back to what really is at hand. Listen, I'm happy you back, but let's talk about the situation we just had a moment ago. I didn't like how you was being. I didn't like what the stuff you said to me. It was very hurtful. And after that, you hung up in my face. I sat in the parking lot and cried for an hour. So apparently, it's going back to the beginning where he became independent. And he received not much support from his mom because she expressed the fact that she felt unsupported. But he said for many years, I had to take care of my mom for a decade plus. I bought her houses, I bought her cars. But when it came down to me being independent, I had to look over my finances. I had to pretty much, you know, question myself. Is going independent the right choice for me? I'm gonna have to, you know, be the man and position myself and make sure I'm financially able to take care of my kids. So he pretty much dropped the mom and she said, you just cut me off. I ain't like that.
Got you.
And so he said I had to create some healthy boundaries because, you know, she felt like I was your one and only, and he dropped me like a bad habit. And I feel like since I was your queen, your wife took that away from me. He said, no. He said, I think that stems from a mother and son relationship where it becomes unhealthy because at the end of the day, that is your son. He's not your man. He's not your husband. That's your son. Yes, your son will look out for you and make sure you do good, but he was also a married man. Because she feels threatened by his wife, Sheila. She believes that Sheila is the cause of him being independent. So she felt like you were the one that cut my money back. You were the one that cut my allowance. You the one that took money from me. And I'm like, I don't like that. That's not right, Blondie. That's not cool. And then, of course, you like, you know, you feel threatened because you thought that she was the one. No, that was my decision. She supported me. Listen, my wife brings me joy. She brings me happiness. I am happy. And that's something that should be, you know, praised about, not put down. And she said, stop making excuses for her. Like, I'm not. But I had the internet. I had to protect my wife. What my wife did for me was the best thing that she could have done. And now we're getting to more of a serious note. They recently went through a miscarriage, and she took it hard. She said, look, I'm sorry. If I had known that, I would have brought it up. But she brings up his. But then she turns around and brings up Lyric, his deceased baby from 2011. I'm like, where did that come from? Who was Lyric? She said, you held her, you hold her, you smelled her. In 2011, he had twin daughters with a previous relationship before he met his wife, Sheila. The twins were born, but one had complications, and they lost her. And he broke down as soon as she said her name, and in the confessional, I'm like, oh, Ace Hood, I am so sorry. I was so sorry to hear that, but I'm not trying to be. I'm not trying to think negative, but when he told her about Sheila's miscarriage, to me, I felt like she wasn't even sympathetic to Sheila's miscarriage. She wanted to bring up his recent loss of a child. Oh, his first loss of a child. She wanted to put that in. I'm like, are you trying to compete with the miscarriage? Why would you bring up her? I'm not saying it was. I'm not saying he still can't feel the loss. Yes, he can, but I'm just like, does she not really like Sheila like that? For her to like, to me, it didn't sit with me when she did that. I didn't like that. Like, he lost two kids. He lost two of them. You know what I'm saying? And she felt like, as a father, you did your part, but she's a part of you, you're a part of her, and I want to build a better relationship with Sheila. I do. I want to. I said, we gonna see, because she is giving me a mama who gonna start some shit. But end of that. We're back to Trina. So obviously everybody's headed towards the event. Trick comes. He's definitely upset about the poor communication on Trina's team. You need to get that in order. But she's excited about, the event. 21 years is a blessing and everything. And the sky's the limit for her. And I'm here for you, Trina. So then we ended it with Suki. Suki is arriving to her meeting with her mom, who is her manager. I'm like, that's her mom? Her mom look good. I'm like, is this the mom that we saw before? Was that the grandmother? But the mama looked amazing. I'm like, is she barely 40? Because she looked good. So obviously Suki made her mama wait 3 hours because Suki had to get her some wings. And I understand you don't want to be hangry when you're trying to conduct business. So she go ahead and got her some nourishment and came back. But don't let your mom wait 3 hours. She said, now I got my mind right. Let's talk about what's more important. So, all right, cool. So, we had a very good bit of the year. So, Miami Tip was her manager last year, and she thought it was good. Obviously, she still is a part of Suki management team, but she wanted somebody else who know her the long way, which is her mother. And she said, okay, we're going to get you some merchandise because we need to figure out a way to clean you up to get you into the mainstream markets. You know what I'm saying? Because just making money from OnlyFans is good, but that's where people only see you as. They see you as this ratchet ghetto girl who keep on saying, anybody else dick out tonight? Let me see somebody else with a wet pussy. Like, she keeps on talking so much vulgar. People are not going to want to, pay for that. They're not going to sign that. So we're going to have to clean up your image a little bit. Don't change who you are, but just, cut back a little bit. Because everything else after that, again, I'm sorry, y'all. My son is trying to call me. He's trying to be included. My bad. Because at the end of the day, I look on the internet and I see a lot of stuff about you. I see a lot of things that take me by surprise and be like, I don't know what's going on with that. It's a shock when I see you on the internet when doing what you're doing. Because then she's like, why is my mom afraid of a label wanting to sign me? Because, Suki, you are a lot. And if you want to be all that you can be without nobody else telling you, I don't know how far you're going to make it. Because you're going to have to, scale some of that back in order for you to be taken mainstream. But then she said, you know what, you're going to have to deal with me and my husband. She said, and your kids. She said, yes, and my kids. And possibly 3 more. She said, 3 more what? 3 more kids. She said, no. She said, after that, I'm not working no more. After you get pregnant, I'm going to sit on my Tempur-Pedic and just chill. I'm not working no more. She said, no, we're not going to do that. She said, why? I want to be fruitful. Can I be fruitful? Okay, well, maybe like in the next 1 or 2 years. We need to get the ball rolling now. And I was agreeing to that. I thought I was going to be selfish. But no, come on, Suki. Your career is soaring right now. And you do not want it to dim down because you got pregnant. Nobody can say you can't have kids, but I honestly don't think you really need anymore. But at this point, the career is soaring right now. You're doing a lot of things. You don't want that to cease when you get pregnant. And we got to talk development, you know what I'm saying? She said, no, hold up. Cardi B did it. Your Miami did it. And I said, you know what? Suki, you right. They did. But they already had content out. They already had music out. They already had things already working to be put out. You don't have material out as much yet. All you guys OnlyFans, you need more material out. So then she's like, you know what? I'm done. I'm gonna leave. I'm go. And then she said, no, what's going on? She said, listen, I don't know what's wrong with y'all. I'm done recording. Listen, if you keep on recording me, I'm not coming to work tomorrow, and that's it. That's a wrap. I'm done. I'm like, Suki, come on, don't take this bad. Listen, you know what I'm saying? Just a year, 2 years, and it's like so funny on how you have not been present in the way that you wanted to be when you were doing this for your kids. You think you're gonna drop all of that? You think you mean to tell me you're gonna go back to being the mom that you want to be when you have this baby for your fiance Kill Bill, but you not think that when you had the kids when you wasn't there? Everything you do for your kids, right? Come on, Suki. You know, come on. But anyway, y'all, that's all I got. This season is gonna be really interesting. I can't wait for more. But I'm gonna see you guys later. Please don't forget to like and comment and subscribe to my channel. Bye.